follow that teaching, that's the teaching they went with. And I love that for all of us.
What were you doing then when you decided to write the book? What were you doing then before that? And was this a pivot? Was this a chance you were taking to be like, I'm going to set aside all of my other hobbies and be an author now? And by the way, it's going to be best-selling.
Oh yeah, I did not see that coming at all. I really thought this was going to be like a niche book. I'm gonna preface this by saying I was very, very fortunate. So I had a blog, and I wrote. I when my child first came out as trans, I was going to shut that blog down because there was no way that I was going to out my child to the world. That felt very wrong and very unsafe. And they were the one who said, no, 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 I really need you to tell this story because it took me a long time to come out to you. I couldn't find a lot of stories of supportive families. I found a lot of really sad stories. So if you could tell this story and just let people know that you can love your child, that would probably help a lot of people. So that was their gift to the world at 11 years old.
That's cool.
We had a lot of talks about it before I decided to do it, but that was their gift. Yeah. So I did that first. And then my wife came out.
You were like, I'm sorry to cut you off. I apologize. You were, and I'm going to use this term, I think, because you've used it. And if you want to cut it out, we can cut it out. You were one of the original mommy bloggers.
I was. Yeah, you can say mommy blogger.
You were a big deal. You were a big deal in the mommy blogger community. I know you probably don't want to say that, but I think that the stats show that you were.
I mean, I wasn't like the blogess who I think was like the mommy blogger at the time. Like I certainly wasn't way up there, but yeah, I had a following. It was, I had a decent following. When I wrote a post about my child, I actually wrote it. I think it was during Oscars night. I had written it before, but I purposely hit publish during an awards event thinking no one's going to read this, but at least I did it. And then like my little niche people who read me will see it, and that'll be that. Like that's the end. It went viral on award night. Like while everybody was talking about that, suddenly everyone was also talking about this. Not to the same extent, obviously, but a lot of people who I had never seen talk about my blog before were now talking about my blog. So that was happening, and that was terrifying. And yeah, we got some hate, but overall, it was fairly supportive. Lost some friends, unfortunately, that happens too. But I mean, yeah, overall, we it was okay. But that transformed everything.
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned for more of the episode. And now we're back.
Suddenly, I went from just writing about my family and some funny stuff and lightness, just trying to be positive, to writing about what it's like to affirm a trans child. And that was a very different audience and a very, at the time, newer thing. We weren't the first, but we were one of the first. And we got a lot of attention for it. By the time my wife came out, there was absolutely no way to keep that quiet. And she is a very private person. Zoe is a very private person overall, although she can't be now because she's with me. But but just by nature. And I said to her, I'm like, I really want to protect you. And I really, but now, there's no way we're too recognizable. People know us all over Canada. There's no way that you can just transition quietly. So that was hard, actually. And one of the reasons why I kept a lot of it for a book, because I wanted to own the story for our family. I wanted to make sure that story was told kindly, delicately, respectfully, and that it helped people, and that it wasn't